If you have been doing wrist curls to build bigger forearms, stop. Not because they are dangerous, not because they are too hard, because they are targeting the wrong muscle entirely. The biggest muscle in your forearm, the one responsible for that thick vascular look from elbow to wrist, cannot be trained through wrist movement at all. It does not even cross the wrist joint. Every set of wrist curls you have ever done missed it completely, and that is why your forearms have not grown the way you expected. Let me explain exactly why wrist curls have been wasting your time. The forearm is made up of two main groups of muscles, the flexors and extensors, containing 20 muscles that work to bend and extend the wrist and elbow and are responsible for finger movement. Wrist curls train the flexors on the underside of your forearm. These muscles do contribute to forearm development, but they are not the muscle that creates the visible thickness and size you are looking for. The muscle to focus on if you want bigger forearms is not even technically a forearm muscle. The brachioradialis is a powerful elbow flexor, considered the triceps of the forearms, and it needs to be your focus if you want bigger forearms. The brachioradialis starts on the upper arm bone, the humerus, and inserts on the distal end of the radius. This muscle does not cross the wrist joint and therefore has no action on the wrist. In order to work it the most, you need to focus on the actions of the elbow, specifically flexing the elbow. This is the critical point. Wrist curls move at the wrist. The brachioradialis does not attach to or cross the wrist joint. Wrist movement literally cannot activate it. No matter how many sets of wrist curls you do, the most powerful muscle in your forearm sits completely untrained. The brachioradialis is the most powerful forearm muscle. It is a forearm flexor located on the outer part of the forearm, and this muscle fires into gear every time you flex your elbow. It is a pretty big muscle, and its growth will make your forearms look a lot bigger. Think about what this means practically. The muscle responsible for the majority of forearm visual size, the thick, rounded outer muscle that creates the appearance of powerful forearms from any angle, has been completely skipped in your training because you were told to do wrist curls. The same principle applies to forearms as to arms overall. You do not just hammer your biceps, you also focus on your triceps because they make up a huge chunk of your arm's mass. The brachioradialis is the game changer, the muscle that adds that coveted thickness and strength that is often overlooked. Exercise 1. Hammer curls. The brachioradialis only becomes a primary elbow flexor when you perform your curling movements with your hands in a neutral position midway between supinated and pronated or facing down. Doing so places the biceps at a mechanical disadvantage and forces the brachioradialis to take on more of the workload. The hammer curl uses exactly this neutral grip, palms facing each other throughout the entire movement. This single grip change completely shifts the muscle recruitment from bicep dominant to brachioradialis dominant, targeting the muscle you actually need to train for forearm size. Hammer curls work the brachioradialis that helps bend your elbow with a neutral grip. Training this muscle adds visible size from the elbow to the wrist and supports stronger pulling movements because it helps your forearms stay strong under load. How to do it. Stand tall with a dumbbell in each hand, palms facing your body. Keep your elbows tucked at your sides throughout the entire movement. Do not let them swing forward. Curl both dumbbells upward simultaneously, keeping the neutral grip from bottom to top. Pause at the top and squeeze. Lower slowly over 3 to 4 seconds. 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. The slower the lowering phase, the eccentric, the more muscle stimulus you create per rep. Exercise 2. Reverse curls. Reverse curls increase the involvement of the brachioradialis and reduce the use of the biceps due to the pronated grip used. Unlike other forearm muscles, the brachioradialis does not cross over the wrist joint, which means it cannot be trained with wrist flexion or extension alone. Adding a reverse curl movement that involves elbow flexion is essential for forearm development. The reverse curl is the hammer curl taken one step further. Where the hammer curl uses a neutral grip, the reverse curl uses a fully pronated grip, palms facing the floor throughout the entire movement. This exercise increases the involvement of the brachioradialis and reduces bicep involvement because biceps are mechanically disadvantaged with a pronated grip. How to do it. Use a barbell or 2 dumbbells. Overhand grip, palms facing the floor, elbows tucked at your sides. Curl upward while maintaining the pronated grip. Do not let your wrists rotate during the movement. Lower slowly and with full control. Start lighter than you expect to need. The brachioradialis will fatigue faster than your biceps in this position because it is likely undertrained. Your body is not used to it being the primary mover. 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Progressive overload weekly. Exercise 3, farmer's carry. This one surprises people because it looks nothing like a forearm exercise, but it is one of the most effective forearm builders that exists, and here is the science behind why. Grip-intensive exercises like farmer's walks are effective for the forearms. Even though there is no flexion or extension, they contract the forearm muscles isometrically by keeping the fingers flexed and wrists clenched. Isometric contraction, holding a fixed position under load, is one of the most effective training methods for tendon strength, grip endurance, and forearm density. The farmer's carry forces every muscle in your forearm to maintain maximum tension for an extended period. Not a momentary peak, like a curl, a sustained, continuous contraction that creates a completely different training stimulus. How to do it. Pick up the heaviest dumbbells, kettlebells, or loaded bags you can hold for 30 to 45 seconds. Stand tall, shoulders back, walk forward in a straight line. When your grip starts to fail, do not adjust. Do not squeeze harder. Let your forearms tell you when they are done. That is 1 set. Rest 90 seconds. 3 to 4 sets. The progressive overload for this exercise is either adding weight or extending the carry duration, or both over time. Exercise 4, dead hangs. You already know the dead hang from earlier in this channel, but what you might not know is that it is one of the most complete forearm development tools that exists, training every forearm muscle simultaneously under full body weight load in a way that no isolated exercise can replicate. When you hang from a bar, every single muscle in your hand, wrist, and forearm fires maximally just to keep you from falling. Your brachioradialis stabilizes the elbow under load. Your flexors maintain the grip around the bar. Your extensors balance the tension. Your deep intrinsic hand muscles work to prevent your fingers from opening. How to do it. Find a pull-up bar. Grab it with both hands. Lift your feet off the floor. Hang. Start with 20 to 30 second holds. Rest 60 seconds. 3 sets. Progress to 60-second holds. Once you hit 60 seconds, comfortably switch to a towel draped over the bar. The unstable surface of the towel forces your forearm muscles to work dramatically harder than a fixed bar to maintain grip. This single progression can double your forearm training stimulus without adding any extra time. Here is exactly how to use all 4 exercises together. Do not train forearms in isolation on a separate day. Add this routine at the end of your upper body sessions 2 to 3 times per week. Order matters. Start with reverse curls. While your forearms are fresh, they require the most coordination and technical focus when the brachioradialis is under its most unfamiliar demand. Follow with hammer curls, slightly more natural movement pattern, still heavy brachioradialis focus. Then farmer's carry, sustained isometric hold. Different stimulus from the dynamic curls. Finish with dead hangs, your grip finisher, wringing out every last bit of forearm endurance. Total additional time, 12 to 15 minutes added to your existing training. That is all it takes to completely transform your forearm development. Now, I know some of you are thinking I do not have access to a barbell for reverse curls or dumbbells for hammer curls. Here is how to adapt every exercise to whatever you have available. No dumbbells, use filled water bottles, loaded bags, or anything you can grip with a neutral hand position. The grip position is what matters, not the specific equipment. No barbell for reverse curls, use a resistance band with an overhand grip. The pronated position is the key, the implement is secondary. No pull-up bar for dead hangs. Grip the top of a sturdy door, a tree branch, or any fixed overhead structure that safely supports your body weight. The brachioradialis does not know the difference between a premium barbell and a resistance band. It only knows tension. Apply tension in the right positions and it will grow. Here is the summary of everything. Your forearms have not grown because you have been training the wrong muscle with the wrong movement. The brachioradialis, the most powerful forearm muscle, cannot be trained through wrist movement. It must be trained through elbow flexion with a neutral or pronated grip. Wrist curls train the muscles on the underside of your forearm. They have a place in a complete forearm routine, but they will never build the outer thickness and size that makes forearms look impressive because that muscle requires a completely different movement. 4 exercises. 12 to 15 minutes added to your existing training, 2 to 3 times per week. Give it 8 weeks and your forearms will look nothing like they do today. Start tonight. Find something heavy with a neutral grip and do 3 sets of hammer curls. That is where it begins. If you want to build the grip strength that complements these forearm exercises and makes your entire upper body pulling strength significantly more powerful, that video is on your screen right now. You have been training the wrong muscle. Now you know which one to train.